Fluttercord, one of the most popular ships within the entire community of My Little Pony. It's easy to think that Fluttershy and Discord are in love with each other based on their interactions and conversations with one another. Trust me, I see where all the shippers are coming from. But I'm here to tell you that Fluttercord never even existed. I took the time to analyze this relationship in depth, and now I have the full proof that shows that Fluttershy and Discord are not in love with one another, and why they will never be in love with one another. And trust me, I've got more than just the fact that these two are completely different species and that their age difference is so far apart. Due to the nature of this video, however, there will be spoilers to certain episodes of the show. If you've not seen the following episodes on the screen, please go watch them before you watch this video. But, without further ado, let's talk about why Fluttercord has and will never exist. So let's start where all of this began. Back in Season 3, Keep Calm and Flutter On. In this episode, Celestia assigns the main six to reform Discord, more specifically, Fluttershy.
And you really think I'll know best how to do that?
I do.
So after freeing Discord, Fluttershy takes him back to her cottage. Her plan to reform Discord is to befriend him by giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I think the key is to befriend him. Being kind to him and letting him be my house guest is probably the best way to do that.
This is where I think a lot of people get mixed up and confused. Some people would think that the reason Fluttershy gave Discord the benefit of the doubt was because she had a secret crush on him. However, that's not the case. Remember when Celestia assigned Fluttershy the task of reforming Discord? Well, she wasn't that excited about it. And judging by her reaction...
And you really think I'll know best how to do that?
She wasn't that confident in herself. However, Celestia's faith in Fluttershy is what gave her the confidence she needed to take on the task. So why did Fluttershy give Discord the benefit of the doubt anyway? Well, it's because it was the only choice Fluttershy had in order to reform him. Now, before you guys go saying that Fluttershy had no choice because her feelings gave her no choice, that's not the reason why. Think about this for a minute. The main five, along with Spike, refused to even give Discord a chance due to his actions in the past. And Discord refused to be reformed based on his looks, words, and tone. At this point, the situation was at an impasse, and Fluttershy had to make a new approach. She knew that the first step to reform Discord was to gain his trust, and the only way she could gain a trust with a villain like him was to give him the benefit of the doubt. The whole point of Fluttershy even doing so was so she could get Discord to lower his defenses and begin to trust her. It's impossible to reason with someone who doesn't trust you, and giving Discord the benefit of the doubt helped build that trust needed to reform him. But Fluttershy was still aware of the possibility that Discord was just putting on an act, like these scenes here.
Hey! That's hot!
Oops, well, I'm so sorry.
He did that on purpose!
Oh, well, I don't know about that. Mistakes happen.
There's something fishy going on.
Discord?
Well, it's hardly my fault if the soup tureen finds the term something fishy to be offensive.
While Fluttershy still tried to get her friends to give Discord a chance, these facial expressions show that Fluttershy is still aware that Discord could just be trying to manipulate her. Discord was the one who snapped that gravy boat to life, so who's to say he didn't give it passive-aggressive behavior? Now, Fluttershy did bring up the point of not drawing to conclusions so soon, but saying that also means she didn't dismiss it as impossible. I mean, that rabbit, that squirrel, and that family of beavers didn't turn evil just because Discord snapped his paw, or claw, or tail. The next scene I want to talk about is the flooding at Sweet Apple Acres. This is where Fluttershy's experiment is put to the test. Discord promises that he will fix Sweet Apple Acres if Fluttershy promises to never use her element of harmony against him.
I ask that you never use your element of harmony against me as a sign of our friendship.
I will never use my element of harmony against you.
Note how much of a risk that Fluttershy is taking. The entire fate of Equestria is put at stake with this one deal, and Fluttershy takes it. She does so in hopes that her kind acts have helped her gain Discord's trust and friendship.
I've just been trying to gain his friendship any way I can, so he'd come to trust and listen to me.
But it wasn't enough to stop Discord from altering the deal. After Discord covers Sweet Apple Acres in deep snow, it was clear that Fluttershy wasn't happy with him, to put it lightly. She obviously felt betrayed by him, as if she was betrayed by a friend. But when Spike gives Fluttershy her element so that they can turn Discord back into stone, she refuses to take it. This is definitely an interesting move, especially considering how a little while afterward, Fluttershy tells Discord that she wasn't his friend anymore. So why did Fluttershy make two completely different courses of action? Well, this ties back into her element of kindness. She didn't want to break the promise that she made, even if it was with someone she doesn't necessarily have a friendship with. However, she wasn't going to be a pushover and let Discord walk all over her. Now, let's look at Discord's reaction. At first, he doesn't care that Fluttershy is going to leave him, but once he realizes that he'll lose the only friend that he's ever had, he cleans up his act and reforms himself. Take note of that. The only friend that Discord has ever had. Discord has never had a relationship with anyone, and he didn't want to lose the only one that even gave him a chance. The last scene about this episode that I want to talk about is this scene right here.
See, he can be a real sweetheart once you get to know him.
I can see where a lot of people would draw to the conclusion that if these two characters weren't in love already, they are now. However, that's not the case. First off, Fluttershy putting her hoof on Discord's paw was the equivalent to a girl putting her hands on a boy's shoulder. It was her way of saying, "There's the Discord that I know," without having to use her words. Now, if Fluttershy really was in love with Discord, wouldn't she put her hoof inside Discord's paw? And second off, that line that Fluttershy said, "He can be a real sweetheart." That statement was just a friendly one, not a sign that they're in love. I did take the time to look up the definition of sweetheart, and I can see where a lot of people would even draw to this conclusion, that they're in love. However, keep these two things in mind, especially for the future of this video. One, that sweetheart is more than just a word in the romantic dictionary. Looking at its actual definitions, the term sweetheart can also be used as a friendly/informal way of saying I care about you, but not as a romantic partner. Similar to how Rarity calls other ponies darling, she means it as a friendly manner, even though it can be used as both a friendly and romantic manner. And two, this entire show is filled with a bunch of metaphors and allegories, and they come in many forms, from props to characters to plot themes themselves. So we should never take anything this show has at face value. Alright, let's move on to the next two episodes on my list. The Season 4 premiere, Princess Twilight Sparkle. Not too many interactions between Fluttershy and Discord, but I do want to talk about Discord's behavior along with his reformation. Now, I'm saying reformation sarcastically because I don't think Discord completed his reformation until the Season 4 finale. When Discord was summoned by the main six, his behavior was something similar to what he acted like in Season 3. He was a bit friendlier in the premiere, but you could still tell he was trying to hide something evil, per se. We find out later that it was Discord himself who planted those seeds that sprouted up and attacked Equestria. And instead of telling the truth to the main six, he decided to lie to them with having nothing to do with the invasion, saying he did so because he didn't want to rob them of a friendship lesson. Regardless of that debatable choice of lying, there was another reason why Discord refused to tell the main six the truth. It was because he wanted an excuse to use his chaotic magic. If Discord was truly reformed, he would have stopped the invasion immediately. I feel like Discord not wanting to rob a friendship lesson excuse was his way of saying all's well that ends well. Either way, those reasons don't justify what Discord did by letting the plants terrorize Equestria. Before we go on to my next point, I need to explain why Discord not being reformed is so important. Remember how Fluttershy's plan to reform Discord involved befriending him? Well, when we watched the Season 4 premiere, it looked like the relationship had gone slightly down. Now, am I saying that Discord was never truly reformed?
No, I am not.
Here's the best way I can describe Discord's reformation and his relationship with Fluttershy. Picture both of these things as a flame. Shippers, don't get the wrong idea, okay? When Fluttershy befriended Discord and Discord decided to reform himself, the fire struck. But I think we all know how hard it is to keep up a certain task after we started it. It's safe to assume that after a while, Discord found it hard to find ways to use his chaotic magic for good. He started to revert back to his evil roots. But not entirely. His friendship with Fluttershy is what kept Discord from going completely back to his evil self. So the flame in Season 4 died down to a small size, but Fluttershy noticed the same thing as well.
But our friendship remains. And if you want to remain friends, you'll stop thinking whatever it is you're thinking and help us clean up.
The next episode on my list is Season 4, Episode 11, Three's a Crowd. Not much clarification needed for this episode after the previous points that I've listed, except for one. The way Discord talks about Fluttershy. At this point, you can tell that Discord has a bit more of an interest in Fluttershy than before. Friendship-wise, that is. But the way he talks about Fluttershy...
You remember, I was reformed by lovely little... Fluttershy. Where is that dear, sweet Fluttershy?
would easily make you think that this is lovey-dovey talk. But that's not what it is. And here's why. As we know, Discord has never had a relationship with anyone prior to the start of his friendship with Fluttershy. Well, a good relationship with anyone, that is. So his charisma / choice of words aren't always smooth, if you know what I'm saying. And considering that Fluttershy was the first and only one to give Discord a chance, it would make sense why Discord would call her such things like
lovely little... Fluttershy.
Alright, let's talk about the Fluttercord interactions in the Season 4 finale, Twilight's Kingdom. At this point, Discord was assigned the task to hunt down and capture Tirek. Now, when Discord meets the main six at the Tree of Harmony, we get the usual frenemy interactions. That's another thing I want to talk about, why Discord is so nice to Fluttershy but so rude to the others. It's pretty simple when you think about it. They never give Discord a chance. Discord was more friendly to Fluttershy because she was the only one who would so much as be willing to give Discord the benefit of the doubt, let alone trust him. And let's be honest, if you met some people who gave you the stink eye, let alone the bad attitude, you probably wouldn't want to be friendly back. At least not at first. So this is pretty much the long and short of Discord's feelings toward the main six. Before I talk about my next point, let's analyze these looks from Fluttershy. This look right here was a friendly, happy to see you look, and this was a, you might want to watch your words look. I think we all know what part of the episode we're going to talk about next, the part where the betrayer gets betrayed. Fluttershy was happy to see Discord return until he sold her and Twilight's friends out to Tirek. I'm going to be honest, just looking at Fluttershy's sadness in the scene was enough to make my heart hurt at the time. Probably break. She really thought that Discord was a friend, but when she heard that Discord took Tirek's alliance over their close friendship, not too close, mind you, her heart nearly broke as well. This scene here also shows that Discord's reformation wasn't complete. Now I know that some people are going to make an argument about Discord refusing to look at the main five and Spike being stripped of their magic was a sign that he had some regrets, as shown here. However, his words and looks afterwards show that he had no regrets with what he did. That is, until Tirek betrayed him. Now, we need to talk about the last three Fluttercord scenes. Let's start with this one.
We aren't worth it.
Oh, but you are, Fluttershy. You're the pony who taught me that friendship is magic. I had magic and friendship, and now I don't have either.
I know it's easy to think that this is a romantic comment, but let's look back on some facts. Fluttershy was the first and only one to give Discord more than a second chance, so it would make sense why Discord would speak of her so highly. And let's remember that this show has a lot of allegories and metaphors that come in many different forms. Never take this show at face value. Also, I'd like to point out that part where Discord says he had both magic and friendship. Keyword, friendship. The next scene here.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Fluttershy forgave Discord because she knew that he had learned his lesson. And I don't know about you guys, but kind people don't tend to hold grudges against others, especially if they have gotten to know that person. And the last scene of this episode that I want to talk about is this one here.
Where's my throne?
I don't think you're quite there yet.
Well, I suppose not.
Fluttershy was still Discord's friend, but she didn't hesitate to be honest with him. Alright, let's move on to Season 5, Episode 7, Make New Friends But Keep Discord. In this episode, Fluttershy invites Treehugger to the Grand Galloping Gala instead of Discord, and that makes him angry. The reason behind Discord's anger is because he feels like Fluttershy doesn't care for him anymore. As a friend, that is. Discord is still a bit of a newbie at friendship at this point, so he didn't know that just because Fluttershy is spending time with another friend that isn't one of the main six, it doesn't mean that his friendship with Fluttershy is gone. A lot of people are going to make the argument that Discord didn't want to lose his love partner, but there's no signs or indication that tells us that Discord has a crush on Fluttershy and vice versa. It's all in your own imagination. Now, I don't think I really need to talk about Season 5, Episode 22, What About Discord, because it was mostly about Discord interacting with the main six rather than just him and Fluttershy. If I did miss anything, let me know down in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. Alright, let's move on to Season 6, Episode 17, Dungeons and Discords. The only thing that I think really needs to be clarified is the beginning, where Discord tries to get Fluttershy to take him on the trip to Yak-Yakistan. As we know, Discord did learn his lesson that you can have multiple friends, but putting it into action was another thing for him. And since Fluttershy is Discord's closest friend, and Discord isn't always subtle with his actions, it makes sense to why he'd be so desperate to convince Fluttershy to take him with them. Even as far as rerouting the tracks into an active volcano. Now we're at the Season 6 finale, To Where and Back Again. At this point, the Changelings have captured the main six, the Royal Sisters, and the ponies from the Crystal Empire. When Discord hears that Fluttershy is taken, he is furious. Let's take a small note. When you get on Discord's bad side, your fate is worse than a goner. Now let's analyze the rest of Discord's behavior in this episode. We're all aware that Discord has a close friendship with Fluttershy, so it would make sense that his rage would get the better of him when he hears that Fluttershy is taken, like in these scenes.
They took Fluttershy?
Yes.
Where? I have a Fluttershy to save!
After a while, Discord does regain his right mind, and at a good time, otherwise he would have fallen for this trap.
And I should probably help you get free. But...
But what?
But you're obviously not Fluttershy.
Oh.
I mean, I'm separated from the group and just happened to come across the one pony I care most about. I can smell this setup a mile away.
Unfortunately, Discord still got surrounded by a bunch of other Fluttershy impersonators, and his mind got the better of him, allowing him to get caught. Now the last scene of this episode that I want to talk about is this one here.
Fluttershy?
It's, good to see you too.
Bear with me for a minute. We've all seen scenes like this before in the show, and along with what we've discussed in this video, we all should know that this was a friendly, happy to have you back hug. Or, as Fluttershy puts it,
Good to see you too.
Now I don't think I need to talk about Season 7, Episode 1, Celestial Advice, because, like Season 5, Episode 22, Discord interacted with the main six rather than Fluttershy alone. Again, if I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll get back to you. So let's move on to Season 7, Episode 12, Discord and Harmony. In this episode, Discord plans to throw his first tea party for Fluttershy, but he fears that his choice of fun will make her more than uncomfortable. There's a lot I want to discuss about this episode, so let's get into it. Let's start with Discord's choice of comedy and Fluttershy's reaction to it. At this point, Discord has learned how to use his chaotic magic for something good instead of evil, and he makes it work. While some of it is a bit freaky / disturbing, like finger food, he still finds a way to make it funny. And on a side note, best friends are able to joke about more stuff than others, so it would make sense to why Fluttershy would find a lot of this stuff funny. Now, I do want to take a second to talk about these pillows. Now, I know that some of you are going to make the argument that this is a sign that Discord and Fluttershy are, but let me tell you why that's not true. Let's look back to Three's a Crowd. This episode used a similar concept with Discord's friendship necklace for Twilight, and we all know that those two are in the frenemy zone. These pillows are the same thing. They're a sign of friendship, not love. Next, I want to talk about this scene. I know what some of you out there are going to say, but let me tell you why this isn't a sign that they're in love. As we know, Fluttershy and Discord are best friends. Discord even says so himself right here.
But I'll have you know we're besties.
And as we know, best friends interact with each other differently because they have a closer friendship with each other. And as we know, Discord isn't always smooth with his actions and words. So, to put it simply, Fluttershy was laughing at an inside joke. The next thing I want to talk about is Discord's fear for why he thinks the tea party won't work out. Fluttershy has never been to Discord's house before, let alone one of his tea parties. And going to someone's house for the first time is another type of first impression. And messing up first impressions is never a good thing. So, Discord wanted to make this perfect. But after his conversations with Pinkie Pie and the sales ponies, his self-doubt only got worse. So Discord decided to play it safe and not only change his house, but himself entirely. And Fluttershy was caught completely off guard. I don't know about you guys, but I know exactly what Fluttershy was going through in her head. I've had friends who have acted completely opposite of who I thought they were, and it wasn't easy to take in. After some time, Fluttershy asked Discord why he wasn't acting like his old self, and changed literally everything about him. It was around this time that Discord started literally fading out of existence. After Fluttershy found out it was because that Discord wasn't acting like his old chaotic self, she begged him to go back to normal. Now it's best that I point out here that Discord fading away is a metaphor for those who try to lie about being someone they aren't. The more you try to make yourself the kind of person you aren't, the more you start to hurt yourself and the more that old self starts to fade away. But the difference in the My Little Pony version is that Discord was actually killing himself, so it makes sense to why Fluttershy was so desperate to get Discord to stop being normal. Well, the kind of normal he's not. Even as far as going all chaotic herself. And the last episode on our list is Season 8, Episode 10, Break Up and Break Down. Now, as of the time this video is posted, the episode only exists on YouTube. If it's still up, I will leave a link to it in the description. Now, the only part that really needs to be touched on is this scene right here.
I mean, you don't have tea with Fluttershy every weekend because you like tea.
But I do like tea. Every tea, all the teas.
Now, the writers acknowledged Fluttercord, but they didn't say it was canon. And here's why. Let's rewatch this part of the scene again, and let's pay close attention to the way Discord speaks.
But I do like tea. Every tea, all the teas.
Notice the way he speaks, the way he emphasizes sentence. But I do like teas is a clarification saying Discord does like tea. If Discord were to say a sentence like, I do like teas, that would have meant he was trying to hide something. That way of emphasizing the sentence is a passive-aggressive way of trying to hide the truth. But Discord doesn't say it like that. He says it in a way that means, no, that's actually true. Now, I'm not saying he goes to Fluttershy's house just for tea. Tea parties are social gatherings after all, so he obviously goes to Fluttershy's tea parties to socialize with her. Now, there are a couple things I do want to say before I end this video. One, this does not mean that Fluttercord could never happen. I have no control whether this ship actually becomes canon or not. It's all in the hands of the writers. However, at the 2017 Astra Draconicus panel, it is confirmed that the writers know about Fluttercord, but they don't support it whatsoever.
Do you like Fluttershy? As a friend? Of course. She's my best friend. She's the most wonderful pony in the universe. There is no but. Shh, listen. I want to point out something to you. Do you see that up there? Do you see that up there? I know I have more dimensional perception than you do, but if you squint really hard, you will see a box. And in that box, there's a big letter Y. As in, young audience viewing only, and your dreams of Fluttercord and all romance, period, for this show die here.
So, if I had to guess, Fluttercord is not going to happen anytime soon. Number 2, if I did miss anything regarding Fluttercord, please let me know down in the comments. I'll either get back to you as soon as I can, or I'll make a part 2 to this video. Number 3, I only made this video to show why Fluttercord will never be canon. If you want to make fanfiction about it, go right ahead. If people are going to ship Rarity with Tom, that rock from the Season 2 premiere, I'm not even going to try to go that far. But with that, this video is coming to a close. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video and learned why this ship has never and will never exist. Also, please share this video with other bronies because I want to spread this knowledge as far as possible. I also left a link to the channels that posted the videos I used in this video as well, as seen on screen. This is Daylight's Guardian, signing out.